How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. And today we have a very, very important thing to discuss. Tecmo released a basketball game on the NES. Not only did they release a basketball game on the NES, but it was a basketball game with a full NBA license. So that means league license, so all the teams are there. And the player association license, so all of the players are there. This game even includes Michael Jordan, who was famously absent from a lot of basketball games over the years. It also includes Magic Johnson, who actually didn't play during the 91-92 season. It was released in 1992, and it wasn't developed by Tecmo, and that part's important, and we'll talk about that in a sec. Today, we're going to take a look at Tecmo NBA Basketball. Now, with Tecmo NBA Basketball, you go into it expecting a couple of things. With this being Tecmo, you expect some of those famous cinematic cuts that were made famous with Ninja Gaiden and the Tecmo Bowl games, right? You expect that stuff, and it's here. Although there's not a lot of it here, but that makes sense because it would have caused a lot of breaks in gameplay, and that would have been a little jarring. What you do get, though, are whistle-happy referees. Refs will call you for everything. And that kind of makes gameplay difficult because the controls aren't perfect. The controls aren't as crisp as you would expect. Like other good basketball games, there's some stuff going on that, the controls are there. They're on point. For whatever reason, Sculptured Software did not, they kind of fumbled a little bit with the controls in this game. But it's not so bad that you completely lose yourself. It's just not as sharp as it should be. The music is a little sparse. It doesn't sound as great as the soundtracks to the Tecmo Bowl games or some of the other Tecmo heavy hitters. But again, it's serviceable. It doesn't really distract from anything. And by and large, this game ain't bad. But, it's one of those situations where if you gave the same feature set and licenses to something like All Pro Basketball or Double Dribble, those games would be at the top of the food chain, which they still are, but even higher up. I think Tecmo NBA Basketball kind of prospers because of the wealth of options. There's a coaching mode in this game. That's something you don't see in a lot of retro basketball games. There's also a full 82 game season in this game. There's all-star teams and just a lot happening. And for those who are looking for a really stat-rich experience, this might be your game. But you got to get used to the controls in the game. Once you do that, you're in for a great time. I had never really spent a lot of time with the NES version of Tecmo NBA Basketball. I had played the Super Nintendo version a lot, and I played the Genesis version a lot. And those two games are fantastic. But I don't know, feels like just something lacking a little bit with this NES version. But it's a solid game. It does well enough. Now, if you decide you want to get a copy of Tecmo NBA Basketball, if you are a fan of like stat heavy simulation style basketball with a little bit of that Tecmo flair, it's not gonna cost you a lot. I want to say the NES version is a little more expensive than the 16-bit ports, but it's still pretty cheap. I'm gonna say about $10 to $15 will get you a copy typically, so it ain't gonna hurt. You could probably get one for under $10, honestly, but safe bet $10 to $15. So yeah, I'd say if you like basketball games, go grab yourself a copy of Tecmo NBA Basketball. It ain't gonna hurt, and it's a good 8-bit basketball game that had Michael Jordan in it. That ain't gonna hurt nobody. This has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. That boy was kicking everybody. Zombies, bats, bill collectors, everything. Everything caught a foot.